It's time now for Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. Catch up with everything that's going on at Anderson Speedway with Rick Dawson and Gary Mong.
Good evening. Welcome to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We are at the Mounds Mall Special Events Studio with our producer that always seems to liven us up before we go.
He's got to get us going right at the beginning, don't he?
I wish sometime he'd hit the wrong button and he'd be on the air too. Be fun. We are going to talk to you for the next 30 minutes about racing in general and specifically Anderson Speedway, where things are really a-hopping. Actually, the whole town's a-hopping right now.
The whole town is on fire. They're everybody's excited and ready to go for Little 500 and Little 500 festivities and festival, the whole bit.
We're going to talk a lot about that after our break, but first, let's go ahead and recap last Saturday if we can. I've been trying for 3 days to figure out how we were going to do this, so without me getting in trouble.
Well, we got it in. Let's say that.
And
Mother Nature tried to throw us.
We did.
Yes.
They did a yeoman's job, and we've got a relatively green track crew now, although they're getting seasoned every week.
Yes, they are.
We've still got some of our veterans out there, so there's no worries there, but we're training some new guys, and
they all jumped in.
I tell you, Saturday was just one of those days. It was pretty inevitable that we were going to get some rain. It was hard to tell when and how much.
The monsoon came.
But fortunately, it was just rain. We didn't have the storm, so
right.
That's the good news. But unfortunately, it came at a
quarter late
time.
Something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were getting ready to stage the cars for heat races, and the little red dot flew right over Anderson Speedway and deluged us for about 20 minutes. And stopped, and then we kept getting a few sprinkles, but we immediately started working on the track. And I figured, as warm as it was, the track would dry pretty quick, but the problem came when all of a sudden the wind just died after it blew through, and the air was just saturated with humidity. So it took a little longer than we had hoped, but we got her done in about an hour.
Yeah.
Hour and 15 minutes, about 9:30, we got on the track and scrapped the heat races. We only had two, I think, scheduled anyway. So scrapped the heat races and went right to our Thunder Roadster feature. Yeah.
And okay,
that's where you talk.
Okay, we had another good field of Thunder Roadsters. I believe it was either Doug Duggar and you got in front of you, Doug, or John was fast qualifier. Doug. Okay, I can't see it.
Well,
I can't see it from here.
Here, let me help.
Your arm of your microphone is right across it where I can't see it. There you go. That looks better. Doug Duggar.
I had that same problem last Tuesday night when I was doing the election coverage with Doug.
That's why they had to move it up here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, Doug Duggar was our fast qualifier, and in the feature, John Robbins came out on top. But I believe we had 30 green laps of racing. I don't remember a caution in that race at all.
What happened to Ross? I noticed he's 7 laps down. Did he pull off, or did he just?
No, Ross
just
did his Ross thing.
Okay.
Ross just goes out there and has fun.
Yeah, he does. Well, John Robbins won the race. No stranger from the auto. I got to get this right. Go ahead. From the winner's circle. But we have a name for it. We have a sponsor for it now. I got Auto Farms, McCrocklin Ford Winner's Circle.
I knew it had McCrocklin in it, but I did not know the whole name.
People. You're going to hear a lot about them throughout the season. But John Robbins won the race. Marty Griffith was second. Doug Duggar was third. Mark Dietzen fourth. And Darrell Brown back in it. And his car got it fixed after some incidents earlier in the year.
Yes.
I think it was the very first night, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then also he had one last year, too. So.
Yeah, they're hot tub, but he finished the race and finished in 5th place, and that was in our Thunder Roadster feature. Well, let's go to the last feature of the night, which was our Hearts Auto Service figure 8.
We had a few more new cars show up Saturday night, so we're slowly building that division like we thought it was going to happen.
Some of the ones that had problems last time we ran them still aren't quite fixed. So I'm hoping by National Crown time we'll have 20 cars.
Yeah, so we're getting there. We're getting there. But Jeff Swinford, who's got a strong car this year, a nice-looking car as well, too. Fast qualifier. Fast qualifier. Curtis Chapman was second fast qualifier, and those were the two cars that really had the battle for the in the feature Saturday night. and they were nose to tail for quite a few laps until Curtis and Jeff tangled right underneath the flag stand. They're going into turn 1 of the figure 8.
When they were nose to tail, who was in the lead?
Jeff Swinford, yes. And Curtis seen a hole, tried to dive underneath him going into turn 1 of the figure 8 course, and they tangled right there at the bottom of the track there and in the infield, and Curtis ended up kind of on top of Jeff, but it did damage Jeff's car, so he could not finish the rest of the evening. And Curtis went back. I don't know if he had to change a tire or do something, but he came back out and was able to come back through the field and win the feature.
Nick Warner was second. Larry Sutherland in the 48 car was third. Jeffrey Swinford still ended up fourth. And Camden Creek, in his first appearance of the year, he finished in fifth place.
And I like Camden's car. It's and you know how I am about retro, but it kind of takes you back to the years. That's kind of what his figure 8 car looks like. It was pretty cool looking.
Okay, then we had the CRA Street Stocks.
Yes.
And
20 strong.
Yeah, and qualifying went really well.
Yes.
Calvin Parham, track champion, and Josh Poor was right behind him. And then Jason Atkinson, who's a champion with CRA and great driver, supports us well, was third fast. Jimmy Kirby the third, which would be, we call him James Kirby, was fourth, and his dad, Jimmy Kirby, was the fifth fast qualifier. And then we had a feature.
We did.
A 75-lap marathon.
It was. It was kind of like...
It's kind of like it wasn't a full moon. The rain must have been like a full moon.
We can't say that it had anything to do with the track condition, because track was in really good shape once we got it up and running. So it wasn't that. It was just, I don't know, it was our first CRA Street Stock event of the season, and they were very racy. Let's put it that way. I mean, there was a lot of good side-by-side racing going on.
Well, the first part of the race, and I actually watched every lap of this one. The first part of the race was really good. Colby Lane had the car to beat.
He did.
Although I was noticing he was on the high side of the track all the way around, especially in the corners. It looked like he was drifting up. And after talking to his dad in the pits after the race, because that's really opened the door for some of them.
To try to blow him there. Yeah.
Jeff wasn't there to set tire pressures. They did it over the phone. And I think there was something up with the tire pressures on Colby's car, so that was what was pushing him up. And several drivers were able to see that, the first of which I can't remember who now. I said I watched the race. Right. I just can't remember what happened when. Actually,
Jimmy Kirby actually led the first part of the race. And then Colby come back, and then Jimmy got a little squirrely and got up high, and Colby dove underneath him.
Okay, but Colby was racing on the outside of Jimmy for a while. I can remember him being side by side for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
But if I remember right, Colby did get him underneath when Jimmy went high.
He did. What happened? Jimmy went high. He washed up or went into turn 3 a little hot.
Yeah.
Got up the top, and when he came off of 4, I actually said something to Fred Hopkins yesterday. I said he did a Fred Hopkins and just smoked the right rear tire, which just rendered it basically useless. And from that point on, Jimmy's car,
he was just hanging on.
He could not keep it under control.
Right.
Yet he was still, and this is very uncharacteristic of Jimmy because he's a veteran driver, he's a very good driver, but he was still trying to win with a car that couldn't win. I mean, there was several other cars that were a lot faster and more under control, and it caused several issues. He got into Colby a little bit, but then it was Jason Atkinson. He pretty much got into Jason, and they both had to go the tail, and coming back through Jimmy evidently didn't like that call, and but it
mixed up the field. Let's put it that way.
And the one thing that Jimmy did do that I really didn't like was he's basically not obeying the official. Of course, it wasn't our race, so I couldn't do anything really about it until safety came in. But he sat out in the infield for, I know, a good 5 or 10 minutes, just wasting our time and the fans' time, and that's pretty selfish. And that's not, again, characteristic of Jimmy when it comes to the fans, because he is very adamant about putting on a good show for the people.
And he does when he does.
He didn't get his way. I don't know what was going on. I didn't have a CRA radio, but finally he left the track, and we restarted, and I can't recall who was at the point at that point in time. Was Colby back up there?
I think Colby or John. I don't remember. There was so many lead changes in that race.
I think that's when Colby and Josh
Calvin Parham. That's
yep.
right. It was Calvin.
We're up there together, and then they started. I mean, actually, Colby's car was out of control
yes.
then. I mean, his tires were pretty well shot, and he was doing basically the same thing as, Calvin and him got together a little bit in the front stretch, and on the back stretch, Colby I don't think he did it on purpose, but it just looked like he just pinched Calvin into the wall. That ended Calvin's night,
right?
And Colby had to go to the
because he ended up getting a flat tire, if I'm not mistaken. Had to go back to the pit.
That's right, and came back out to
yes.
finish racing. But then where did Josh Poor come in? Because Josh was right there also when all this was going on, and Colby.
He was one on the backstretch.
That's right. He pinched Josh into the wall big time.
Yes.
Which was, I hate that. I hate it when we got cars running side by side, putting on a good show, and the driver on the inside decides to take advantage and push the driver on the outside into the wall. That pretty much ended Josh's chances of winning. Josh had a good car, a car that was capable of winning. Wasn't real popular with the fans either.
No.
But
through all that, I think we ended up with a first-time winner, didn't we?
I'm not to
that.
Oh,
you're
yet.
not to that yet?
You just keep jumping.
No, I'm not trying to jump. I just thought you were getting there. I was trying to be your segue.
I'm trying to explain what happened to the people.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. It's only a half-hour show.
So Colby took Josh out. Josh had to go to the back.
Right.
That started a restart. I think that was like lap 70 or something. It
was very toward the very end. Yes.
Dad and son on the point. Robert Amos Sr. and Robert Amos Jr. Side by side for about a lap, and Jr. Got the edge, took off, and ended up winning the race with his dad in second. Jacob McElfresh, who was patient, finished third. So was Danny Adams and Jason Atkinson. And this is a guy that I've seen in adverse situations just keep on chugging. He's got a great crew behind him also.
Worked his way back to fifth.
He worked his way back up to fifth place. So congratulations to those guys. I was back at the tech pad when the Amos family.
I wonder if a father-son. And I don't necessarily at our track, but I'm talking about in CRA. Or if that's the first time a father-son has come in 1-2.
I don't know.
That. We'll have to find out.
Well, why?
I think it's just interesting.
I don't have enough brain cells to waste on more information.
Okay.
At this point in time.
Well, I could tell because you spent 5 minutes on this lap race.
I'm in a focus mode.
I know you are.
But congratulations to
yes.
Robert Amos Jr. Happy guy and patient race. He earned the victory. I mean, that was a race of survival. He did it. And to our fans, I know we had a lot of upset fans. I suppose it was entertaining to the not real hard and fast, just out there to watch cars race and. But it wasn't the kind of race that I like to see at our track. And actually, that's a couple in a row. And we are scheduling to be after the little 500. But I've talked to both R.J. Scott and Glenn Luckett with CRA Series. We're going to have a meeting the week after the little 500 with Daniel Hart, the race director, and Greg Wood, and have Glenn on a conference call at the same time to see if we can't work out some of these bugs. I've seen some things that might have prevented some of this, but you got to remember when these drivers put on their helmets, we have no control over what they do.
And we know that CRA can put on good shows because we've seen them at the track many times. So I don't know if it's just the early part of the season and everybody's just got their adrenaline going, they're ready to go out there racing, or what it is. But
and we've had our nights like this
absolutely.
Too. I don't know if
it happens.
Quite that bad. I mean, after one of them does it, usually jerking out and tell the rest of them, and they straighten up. But what really frustrates me is there's communications with these drivers. We don't use receivers on our regular divisions and regular Saturday nights yet. We might, but they have to be used properly. and the drivers have to abide by what's said over there. Just because they have a radio or a receiver and they're told what to do doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do it. And if they don't, then something needs to happen. But we're going to get the bugs worked out, and we'll have it done before the next race. We want to talk real quickly before we go to break about this coming Saturday night. It's our season championships, and it's
spring.
What did I
season.
Always do that?
Spring championships.
Spring championships. It's also First Responders Night at Anderson Speedway. We're going to be honoring all of our first responders, our police officers, our firemen, our ambulance people, all the first responders. If you've got a badge, show it at the gate. You get to come in and watch it free. We're going to have some special stuff on the midways, special stuff in between the races to honor these people that keep us safe, and how we really appreciate it. But we've got on our spring championship, it's all of our Anderson Speedway divisions, the McGonigal Engine Performance Late Models, Street Stocks, Hart's Auto Figure 8s, the Markham's Welding Pro Compacts, and Thunder Roasters. That's this Saturday night. Gates open at 5. We race at 8. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with more Anderson Speedway's Track Talk.
Heart attack, stroke, serious injury. A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
Honey, stop! Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings, or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
MoFab Incorporated, where imagination is the only limitation. We serve residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal customers as your metals warehouse and fabrication center. We do all types of fabrication using the latest technology with unmatched speed, accuracy, and durability on any substrate. Our ornamental division handles all types of interior and exterior work, including rails, fences, gates, and more. So contact us at mofabbing.com to fabricate your dreams of tomorrow today.
Buying American always wins, whether on the track or on your driveway. To get your winner's circle, check out the great products made at UAW-represented GM plants right here in the USA. You'll be sure to find a car, truck, or crossover that'll fit your needs, and with many choices from Chevy, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac, you can't go wrong. Remember, buy American and buy UAW GM.
Tired of feeling like chum in a Shark Tank? At Auto Farms McLaughlin Ford in Middletown, you'll feel like more than a number on their bottom line. Sure, we're in sales, but we're not salesmen. No high-pressure tactics, no haggling over prices. You're in charge. You're in the driver's seat. Bottom line, if we can't beat the price by at least $250, we'll give you $25 for giving us a chance. So pull out your phone, bring us a quote, whatever you have to do, we'll beat it. If you're at Auto Farms McLaughlin Ford in Middletown, you're at the right place.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests, and not this station.
How about a little Chicago coming back into it? We're back, Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We're at the Mounds Mall Special Events Studio. Sitting here looking over the entry list for the 67th Annual Payless Little 500 presented by UAW GM, and it's another stellar list.
It is.
Get a chance, go to our website and pull it up. Right now we have 32 drivers, and that's a lot for the week before. We usually get another good 5 or 10
the week
by Wednesday. I wouldn't be surprised to see over 40 cars this year.
Oh, wow.
Tried to make the 33-car field. Of course, that big race is a week from Saturday. Green flag at 8 o'clock. Get your tickets now. All seats are reserved for that, and they are going, trust me, I'm not just hyping this, they're going very, very rapidly.
Jessica's been
and they're
busy.
coming in. Saturday night we had somebody buy 18 tickets. We had one come in today, bought about the same. I mean, they're just buying big blocks of tickets, and it's a huge event. And, folks, it's going to be something to see. We're going to have the Kroger Fan Fest there this year, the GM UAW Made in America display, all kinds of things on the midway, a lot of pre-race festivities. It's just going to be a good time.
And it's already in full swing in the city right now with the festival.
We'll get to that. There you go again.
There I go again.
Boy, are you
I'm trying to get it all together. I didn't know you had a plan.
I got a button here. I want to talk about the entry list.
All right, let's do that.
Right now, we're in international field again. We have Ryan Ledd has entered from Canada. We got some new names. Jimmy Wysong from Utah is going to be here, South Jordan, Utah, if you're familiar with that. Of course, two-time reigning champion Jacob Wilson is going to be there to try to make it a trifecta. Davey Hamilton Jr., the son of Indy racer Davey Hamilton, is in the field. Jerry Coons Jr., who sat on the front row last year. Shane Cottle, a champion, and came close the last 2 years.
Yes.
Is back to give her another shot. Kyle Hamilton, veteran of a lot of things now. It seems like forever since he drove the Mel Kenyon Midgets, but
champion in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Tony Elliott's there to give her a shot and do it with the 6-cylinder, I believe, again this year. We've got 3 or 4 cars from Florida entered. Caleb Armstrong from Newcastle. The Armstrong family is very strong and known for their open wheel success. Chris Wyndham,
former champion.
It's not former; he still is a champion.
Well,
2011.
Yes.
How's that?
There you go.
For being a Dave Algebright. Travis Welpott, local driver. Bobby Santos, a big name in sprint car racing. Of course, Jeff Bloom has entered again, and local favorite Aaron Pierce is going to be there to try to get that trophy on his mantle. Brian Gerster, tough competitor, very fast in the wings, is going to give her
Donnie
a shot.
Adams.
Donnie Adams will have his car repaired and ready to go. Russ Gamester, who is tough every year, always has a top 5 or 10 car. Maybe this is his year. Brian Tyler, champion, will be there. Rex Norris. Jimmy McCune from Toledo. All the big names in sprint cars will be at Anderson Speedway on May the 23rd.
They will.
So get your tickets. Get your tickets now because it's really tough. The 28th City of Anderson Little 500 Festival is in full swing, and don't miss these events. Tomorrow morning, well, first of all, today, and you can join us as soon as the show is over. If you're listening to us on Tuesday evening, we are going to Culver's, just down the street. It's Dove Harbor Day at Culver's. 10% of all their sales goes back to the Dove Harbor organization. That's a shelter house, I believe, for women and children that have had domestic issues.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, the Payless Little 500 golf tournament tees off at 9 o'clock. I imagine you could still probably get a team if you're there.
It'll be beautiful tomorrow.
It is going to be a little chilly when we tee off, but once it gets going,
Yes.
It's going to warm up. Then Thursday evening, the Casa wine tasting at the Edge here in Anderson, 5 to 7. Casa's a great organization. Chickens for Charity is that afternoon down at the Y, the Anderson Lions Club. Have that every year. You can smell the Sam's Char Cart chicken all over town. Then Thursday through Saturday, right out here in the mall in the former Sears building, Payless is having a rummage sale. Of course, all the proceeds this year that Payless raises through the festival go to the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Indiana. A new event this Friday from May 3 to 5 at the Madison County Health Center is a Head Start Health Fair. It's free. Go out and they got a lot of things going on there. A little out of the county, but you can go from 9 till 7 up at Marion at the Marion Stamping House in front of the plant. Jared Andretti will be there with the pace truck for this year's Payless Little 500 and a bunch of things going on. And the Made in America Semi, I believe, will be there. Then on Saturday, one of the popular events in the festival out at the Cross Street Shopping Plaza. If you've never had a chance to see this, it's a hoot. The Randy Green Big Wheel races this Saturday. Right back out here at the mall that afternoon's the Ames Little 500 car show. And that evening at the Gruenwald House downtown, they're having a wine gala and auction. Then next week we move most everything to the racetrack. Of course, Wednesday we have the Must-See Racing 60 with the wing sprints, Little 500 practice on Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Then on Thursday is Senior Day at the track. That's always fun. That's a blast. Tons of people, a lot of fun from 10 to noon. And then at 1:30 to 3:30, it's pole day for the Payless Little 500. And then on Friday, we have bump day from 1:30 to 3:30. And Friday evening, something new this year. It's going to be fun. The Bishops, a great group from Indianapolis, are going to put on a concert to benefit the YMCA. That's under the pavilion at the Speedway on Friday evening. Then on
that's from 8 to 11, correct?
That's right.
Yes.
And then on race day, the 23rd, the 26th Annual Little 500 Hall of Fame induction ceremonies will happen under the pavilion at the racetrack. That's at 11:30. There are tickets still available. You can call us or the racetrack. All this information is on our website at AndersonSpeedway.com. Just click the icon. UAWGM is going to have a bunch of things going on for the March of Dimes that evening, before the race. And then at 8 o'clock, you will drop the green flag for the 67th Payless Little 500 presented by...
Not necessarily me. We usually have a...
Well, you'll be in the flag stand.
Yes, we usually have a...
Get technical about it.
Well, now you've been technical with me all through this show, so...
This Saturday night, the Spring Championships at Anderson Speedway. First Responders Night. All first responders, police officers, firemen, ambulance personnel. Show your badge at the front gate. We'll get you in free. Don't cost you a dime. We want to honor you for all you do for us. We have the all-feature action.
It is.
The McGonigal Engine late models, street stocks, Hart's Auto Service figure eights, Thunder Roadsters, and the Markham Welding Pro Compact.
5 features, 5 divisions. Should be some good racing.
Double points. It's always exciting when that happens.
Spring championship.
So that's about it.
It is.
We can say hi to Aunt Jenny.
Now we can say hi to Aunt Jenny.
She's listening this evening.
She is.
Everybody, I hopefully celebrated with Mom on Sunday.
We had a great time with her on Sunday for Mother's Day.
We actually took the family and went to the Edge for a great
Hope everybody had a good time with their moms.
Join us at Culver's here in about 15 minutes and help support a great cause with Dove Harbor and Cheryl and Tom down there do a great job, and the food is delicious.
Yes, and come out and see us Saturday night.
And next Tuesday, it'll be Little 500 time, and we'll have several drivers to talk to. And if you've got some questions you'd like to ask them, email me during the week, and we'll make sure we'll get them on the air. For Gary Mong, I'm Rick Dawson. Have a great week, and we'll see you at the track this Saturday.